Hey, what's up guys? Transition Coach 50 here. Today we're here to talk about lesson 2 for social media. We're going to get a little more advanced today. We're going to talk about actually setting up our profile. We're going to talk about posting. We're going to talk about responding to other people's posts. I think these are exciting topics. If they sound interesting to you, stick around for the lesson. It's going to be fun. Hey, what's up guys? Transition Coach 50 here. Here today to talk about lesson 2 for social media. If you remember last time, we talked about various social media sites out there, which ones you may want to use, which ones are more important and relevant to different age groups. Today we're here to dig a little bit deeper. We're going to start with talking about building your profile, kind of evolve things from there. So first, as we're talking about whether it's Facebook or Instagram, fairly similar concepts when it comes to building your profile. The first thing I'd say is less is more. I know that that's probably consistent with many things in life, but I'd say certainly with social media also. And what I mean by that is, especially if you're somewhat new to social media and you're somewhat new with posting, be a little on the conservative side. Watch what others are doing that you relate to, you respect what they do, and you feel like is consistent with the type of message and goals you want to put out with social media. Start with that. For example, when you're building your profile, let's start with some very simple things. I would suggest one, the picture. What kind of picture are you going to put up there? I wouldn't put a shirtless picture up there, no matter how great you may look or that type of thing. I would probably recommend something that reflects how you wish to be seen by the masses. And remember, it may be your grandmother or kids out there looking at you, as well as prospective women that you may want to someday chat with and perhaps date. And so in that regard, we want to put something out there that's going to be consistent across that mass and really not offend anybody, if you will. So something like that, I'd say, is let's always try to make it appealing. I know a lot of people say about social media, people are only putting the highlights and the best of this out there. That's okay. Don't be afraid to do that, especially at first. Nothing wrong with putting positive messages out there that you feel reflect well of you, are going to put you in a good place and help you be seen in some of your best places. Nothing wrong with that at all. And so I'd say, let's just start with a simple picture that you feel reflects well of you. Whether that's with your kids or without your kids or your pets or that type of thing. I'm okay either way. Just I'd say understand pros and cons of what you look to put out there either way. If you put a picture out there with 5 kids, people are going to see that accurately and probably build assumptions based on those things of where your goals have been, what may be important to you. And so I'd say just be honest with yourself about what those are and put some kind of reasonably conservative picture out there that, again, you feel reflects well of you aesthetically, as well as puts you in the light you want to be seen. Okay? So that's picture out there. And again, you could have the same picture for various social media sites, or you could do different ones. You could play with it a little bit. They're easy to put up, they're easy to take down. In terms of what you say about your profile, again, I'd go less is more. For myself, I think I say things like father, professional, mainly that's about it, right? There's not a lot of words that I'm putting out there. I don't think that that's that important. For the most part in social media, people do go to the pictures, especially as it relates to the profile. As you're looking to set up these sites, they'll ask you a lot of questions. I think you can spend as much time or energy on that as you want. Some people fill out all kinds of information, what kind of music they like, what kind of books they tend to like, TV shows. I personally don't do all that stuff, and I've never felt that that was a gap for me. But again, if those are things you want to do and you want people to see a more reflective side of you completely, okay, go ahead and do it. Be a little bit cautious out there, because let's be clear, there are a lot of catfish out there. We'll come back to catfish. Catfish just means a fraud, somebody pretending to be someone they're not. We'll come back to that, but realize there are a lot of people out there like that, and they're typically looking to cause harm to you, typically by frauding you financially. And so I'd just say, let's be cautious. We'll come back to that topic of catfish in a bit, but my point is, be cautious about maybe not put your address out there or too much information about your children or things like that, recognizing that a broad group of people you don't know, random strangers, is going to have access to everything you put out there. So act accordingly. Okay? So that's setting up your profile. Keep it simple. Less is more. Go safe to start. And I think look at what other folks are doing. See what you like and dislike. Behave accordingly, and just keep playing with it and having fun with it. You can change it all the time if you'd like. Okay? That's setting up your profile. Now that we've got our profile set up and we're kind of moving about everyday life, you may be saying, what should I post? How often should I post? Let's go back to some of our rules of thumb, if you will. Less is more. Be a little bit conservative, especially as you're learning social media. If you're an advanced social media user, you've been doing a lot of posting, move along. If it's consistent for you, if it works for you, if you like the results that you're getting from it, you like what that brings you, okay, do that. Again, let's remember, the purpose of Transition Coach 50 is to help you meet potential women to date. So all of our topics will eventually come back to that. That's why you come to us. So now let's talk about posting. As it relates to posting, for the scope of women we may wish to date, I'd say first and foremost, let's not eliminate people, okay? And I'd say your most probable ways to eliminate people is opinion-based posting. Again, this isn't a political site, this is about dating. All I'm looking to do is play odds for you. None of the things that I say work every time or apply to every woman or situation. I'm taking statistics and I'm taking a broad brush at trying to let statistics work for you and putting the odds in your favor. We do that a lot by not eliminating groups, and you'll hear us in a lot of our lessons talk about not eliminating groups. Okay, so for example, I don't care what your political preferences are. Have at it, vote for who you want. I'd suggest don't post a lot of it on social media. I'm not going to get into why you should or shouldn't do that from a general rule of thumb. Just as it relates to dating, no matter what your opinion is politically, you're eliminating groups of people, and I don't know what benefit you get from posting those opinions. So that would be my rule of thumb, is stay with positive messages, such as, it's a beautiful day. What a gorgeous sunset. Here's a nice picture with my daughter and I, or something like that. You're not going to offend anybody with that type of post. It's a positive message. People like to be around positive people. If you're stating opinions that are controversial, to some people you will be seen as argumentative and or negative. I would avoid those. People don't like argumentative and negative people. People that happen to align with your opinions, you may get notes from, but you've eliminated all the rest, okay? So let's try not to eliminate groups in our posting. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it fairly low risk. Again, it's a positive picture of my dog and I. Probably nobody's going to get offended by that. Who doesn't like my dog and I in a nice picture, right? And hopefully it reflects well of me as it relates to dating. Aesthetically, I'm putting out their energy that I think will be taken positively by the dating group I'm pursuing. And I think that they'll receive that well, and it will be an asset for me as I proceed forward in my future postings. Okay? So short and sweet, that's how it relates to posting. Now let's get into what I think is really complex. And again, our site's about dating and meeting women. So now we're going to start to talk about interaction, right? Because at the end of it, if we're going to date, or social media is going to be an asset for us and how we look to meet women, ultimately there's going to need to be interaction. Okay? So to create that interaction, at times you may get lucky where people reach out to you in your posts. I'm sure over time you're going to end up becoming friends or being followed by women that you don't know well. Maybe you don't know them at all. And now it's going to be around, let's say they've got a post out there or a story that you want to interact with, right? A post is something that someone's putting to their permanent timeline or page, if you will. A story is something that is temporary, transactional. You've put it on there, and typically they expire within 24 hours, okay? As it relates to responding to those, two different things. One, if you respond to someone's post on their timeline, everybody will see that. That's a pro and a con. Again, let's just say there's some nice lady that I'd like to meet and we've become friends, and let's just say she's got a very appealing picture. And I want to say, you look beautiful. Let's be clear that if some random guy who she doesn't know posts that on her page, it's risky. No telling how she may or may not take that. She may go look at your page and see if you're somebody she likes, and maybe that's appealing. I'd say for the most part, very risky. I would stay away from that. If anything, maybe drop a like. You'll be surprised. They typically notice who's liking their stuff. And if you're liking their stuff, that's a positive reach out, but it's not creepy, if you will. Women are typically going to have their guard up a little bit more, as they should, probably. They're going to be concerned about things like safety. They're going to be concerned about intentions of others. And so they're going to have the shields up a little bit. And so what you're going to want to do is take a long-term approach of how you can get past that shield a little bit, build a little bit of trust, and you do that by building some rapport, which is hard to do virtually, but it can be done over a period of time and handled the right way consistently. Okay, guys? So, as it relates to someone's post on their timeline, if you don't know them at all, I'd be very conservative around posting comments. Likes, no problem. You want to like it with a thumbs up or a heart? I don't care. That's fine. That's positivity. They're putting it out there for the world. They want the likes. That's going to be taken very well. If you're going to come down there and offer a comment and you don't know them, I would keep it very generic. Maybe even an emoji, right? Like, hey, that's great kind of emoji. Or if they're a fitness person, maybe it's a flex emoji or something like that, okay? I wouldn't say you look beautiful. If you were going to post words, maybe well done. Again, very safe, very generic. I'd really err to the conservative as it relates to that, okay? So that's around posts on timeline. Stories are a whole different ball game because as you reply to someone's story, it's going to come in as a private message, right? Facebook calls that a messenger. Instagram calls that a direct message, or what people call a DM. When you interface with people on Instagram, they'll often say DM me or they sent me a DM. It just means a direct message, right? It's a private message they receive, they can look at it, and they can determine if they want to respond to that. It's a wonderful opportunity that you get to make a comment about something they've put out there that they and only they receive privately. That said, just because you can do that doesn't mean you should. Just like my comments around the timeline posts, I would be very cautious around reaching out. Let's be clear, beautiful women that have lots of followers and they put up, let's just say, a picture in a bikini on their timeline, you're not the only person responding. Hey guys, at this time, let's take a bit of a pause. Let's remember that here at Transition Coach 50, the community that we're building and the brotherhood of supporting each other is critical to our team's success. If you would, leave a comment below about examples where you've reached out with messaging. What's worked for you? Team would love to hear from you. So if you're gonna reach out, like I said before, let's be conservative. I'd probably wait to see some interaction there. Is she liking your posts? Is there some level of interaction before you comment? Now, if you want to go ahead and comment because you want to make her aware of you, which she'll be aware, she'll see your comment. Again, I'd start cautiously, maybe some kind of emoji. Let's stay consistent with the beautiful woman, lots of followers, posted a bikini picture, and you'd like to reach out. Maybe you post the 100 comment, right? You're not going to offend. I'd probably stay away from the heart. Again, every dude out there sending the heart, it's all that. Or maybe even send something more creative like, love the energy you're bringing, or you seem to be killing it, right? Move away from the obvious, maybe sexual innuendo that kind of gets you lumped into how typical or how unoriginal, right? Because throwing that out there to some beautiful girl, she's probably not going to respond with, hey, will you call me? Okay? So if anything, that reach out's intention is to bring awareness to her of you. Hopefully she goes and looks at your page. Now hopefully you've builded content and posts that reflect well of you and what you'd like her to see about you, because you have that opportunity. In rare cases, you may get some kind of response where she's interested in engaging with you. I'd say most times that's a very long play. It's a very good play and something that I encourage you to do. Again, I just suggest that you consider it a long-term play in social media. If a woman takes a more aggressive path with you, you can follow her lead as it relates to pace. I just wouldn't be overly aggressive, or as I think that'll blow up in your face more times than it'll be an asset to you. Okay? So that's somewhat around reaching out. I mentioned catfish earlier. Catfish are very prevalent in all social media places. They're also prevalent on dating applications, which we'll talk about in the dating application lesson. However, let's talk about it as it relates to social media. Okay, and let's talk about how to identify catfish. Let's talk about why catfish are bad. Let's talk about why you should be aware of catfish, and we can also talk about how to avoid them. So a couple things. One, as it relates to your Facebook site or your Instagram site, you have the option to address the privacy. You could make it so no new people can even see you or really be aware of you and invite you. However, I think that would be contrary to looking to meet new women and looking to expand your network and your potential for dating. Okay, we're in these scope talking about how social media can be an asset for dating. That's what we do here at Transition Coach 50. And so let's stay with that. And as it relates to that, I'd say on Instagram, you could make it private and make people request. Just realize you've put an extra barrier in terms of connecting. It's okay if you want to do that, and there may be reasons you want to do that, like your children are on there and you don't just want anybody to be able to come in there and see your kids. I'd probably more say take more of an open book there, but be more conservative about what you post, so that if somebody saw it, you're not giving up any data or information that you consider to be private in any way, right? It's just information that it couldn't hurt you if people were to receive it. Like, don't have your address out there or your phone number or where you're at right now with your children. That type of thing, just advice on social media. Catfish and how to see them. So a reason that people will reach out to you as catfish, again, which is somebody pretending to be someone they are not, is typically going to be to fraud you, most likely for money. The most likely schemes are a beautiful woman's going to reach out to you, you friend her, and she starts messaging you. She may go to your post in your timelines. Let's just say you're a guy that works out a bit and you post a picture of yourself working out, or some kind of appealing picture, whatever it may be. They may put comments on your page that are like fire or you're hot. They may even say you're sexy or something like that. Be careful. I'd say that's your first awareness. If you have a beautiful woman that you don't know that starts posting those things, my go-to thought is now that very well may be a catfish. Okay? And if I see that, I look to go see, is that a catfish? Or they may send you messages. There's many people you'll connect with on Facebook or Instagram, and their first move is to send you a hello, how are you, maybe even something complimentary. I'd just say it's not that that can't happen in life, it's just that that's not typical female behavior. And so when I see something that's not typical female behavior, my antennas go up, yours should too, okay? Especially if some beautiful woman that, no offense, has been outside your league for a bit, is sending you some note going, hey baby, hold on to your wallet, go look at the catfish, Houston, we got a problem, okay? Let's talk about how to go look at their site. So, first thing is, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, right, which are the two we're going to stay focused on for the purpose of Transition Coach 50. If you go look at their site, women support women typically. So if you're talking about women, go look at their posts. See who's commenting on their posts. Again, first, if you want, go to sites that you know are real. Go look at some of your good friends and that type of thing. Let's just say a lady posts a picture with her and her girlfriend, and it's a aesthetically appealing picture. You're typically going to see a lot of other women going, oh, you're beautiful, oh, you're so great, that's so cool, those drinks look so delicious. That's going to typically make up 75% plus of the posts. It's a problem if you don't see one woman that's posted on there. And again, use your brain. Look to see, are the people posting friends that she's known a long time? Or is it random guys like yourself, no offense, that just met this person and this person's putting an illusion out there that they're okay with all these men saying, you're hot, baby, you're sexy, call me, I love you, putting all these stupid gifts out there. Those guys are wasting their time. Let's move away from that. We don't need catfish in our life. Catfish are typically, I like to say in my mind, they're hairy guys sitting in Russia. I don't know what they are. That's just an analogy for me. It's not the woman you think it is. Let's be clear about that. So there's no value in spending a minute with a catfish. Okay? And so first thing we're going to go do, and you'll be able to eliminate most on this, even before you accept friends, if you have your account private, I would go look at their page, go look at their posts. Are other women supporting them? Does it look like they have a friend base or a random group who's saying things? If it's random, it's a catfish. Get rid of them. They're going to look to tell you nice things. They're going to look to lure you in. And then it's just a matter of time before they tell you, my grandma's sick and in the hospital and I'm stuck here and could you please help me with a little bit of money? And they're going to ask you for gift cards. Don't do it. Anybody that asks you for a gift card online that you have not met, please hold on to your hard-earned money. Don't do it. It's likely a catfish. Other ways you could validate people if you want to, do a video call with someone. Who doesn't have FaceTime or Zoom, or you can do video calls on Instagram and Facebook? They're free globally. All you need is a data connection. Okay? So if you really want to validate someone as who they are, just say, hey, give me a quick video call and let's say hi. They typically will give you a lot of, we're using my grandma's computer and the camera. Kill it, guys. If it sounds like a crazy story, it is. No catfish allowed here. Okay, let's go back to our lesson, okay? Less is more. Let's build simple profiles. Let's walk before we run. Let's observe and see what other people are doing. Associate yourself with some people you think manage social media well. Don't be afraid of it. Try new things, but be a bit conservative, okay? When you reach out, whether it's on a timeline or on a story, let's be cautious. Let's build conservative profiles and messaging. And let's beware of catfish. No catfish allowed here. All right? You guys work too hard for your money. I appreciate your time today. If you like this video, you enjoy it, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, come back more for more Transition Coach 50. We'll see you soon.